Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Happy Sunday. We're going to go through the sales update today. Update you guys on, kind of what sold. We'll go through the top 10 items that sold this week. Give you kind of a breakdown of what my game plan is moving forward through this month and through the end of the year. If any of you are just tuning in for the first time now, this is, kind of like a raw, authentic reselling journey. I am trying to be as transparent as possible, show you guys the journey from, just started here at the end of May. I had maybe 100 items or less. I had been doing eBay kind of part-time for years, 15, 20 items, just a closet, whatever knickknacks or stuff I could find that I knew I could sell. Nothing more than a very part-time hobby up until the end of May, and then I started ramping things up. So I've been trying to ramp up, and I'm sorry, I'm tired. I've been listing all day. Probably did 14 hours of listing. We got 200 plus items listed today, which is crazy. It's a lot. It's been a long day. I woke up at 3 a.m. for whatever reason, and it's 8:30 now, so I'm a little sleepy. I apologize, but the goal is for June I got 1,000 items listed, got up to 1,000. That was a big benchmark. I was really excited. July I made my way up to 2,000, and then we are now at about 2,200 items. The goal is to get to 3,000 by the end of August. I've got 21 days, so 3 full weeks to do that. I've got to get 800, so I've got to get an additional 200 items per week on top of whatever sells. So right now I'm selling between 35 and 40 or 45 items a week, so I've got to account for that. I need to get about 250 items sourced and listed each week for the next 3 weeks, so I can get up to 3,000. And then my goal is a little bit more lax from September to December. I want to try to get to 5,000 by the end of the year, but that gives me 4 months, so that's only 500 items per month. That's only 125 additional per week. Even if hopefully I'm selling through if I'm selling through 100 items a week, awesome. I'll be above my target for what I'm looking for income, and I'll only need to get 225, so it's less than I need to source right now, all the way up through the holidays. So that should be attainable. I'm excited to get to that number. I mean, I'm excited to get up to 3,000 again. It's like every 1,000 it's felt pretty pivotal for the first couple. So inventory is getting better, so sell-through rates getting faster, cash flow is moving a little bit better. Everything's getting better. I'm getting a little bit better at sourcing. My knowledge of product and different styles, different labels, different colors, cuts, fits, everything is a little bit different. Within brands, things sell differently. So the more the more you research, the more you watch other resellers' videos, the better off you're going to be. But let's go ahead and get into the numbers for this week. This is the best week by far that I've had. This is pretty close to a livable wage if I can keep this moving. So total sales were $1,353.66. This is up 39.8% from last period, so last week. Selling costs includes shipping, was $454.86. So my net profit was $842.67. My goal by September is to be making at least $1,000 a month. So I'm close. I'm only $157 off of that. So I think we can get there, especially if I keep ramping up, keep getting good quality inventory. I don't think we'll have a problem. The other goal is to get to 50 items sold per week. That's right now, this week I had 44 sold. I don't see why I won't be heading, the trajectory won't be moving up as I ramp up inventory and my sourcing is getting better. We should be headed that direction. So yeah, those are the two goals. By September, I want to be making at least $1,000 a week in net profit and selling through at least 50 items a week. Average sales price is moving up. It's up 27% from last week, which is fantastic. It's $30.77. That was due to a few bigger items selling, but still, we'll take it however we can get it. Let's see here. So we had Clothing, still the number one category. Consumer electronics was number two. And then, so women's clothing was number one. Men's clothing was number three, which that should be flipping soon. I've been sourcing a lot more men's stuff and kind of weaning off the women's stuff. Not entirely, but it's more balanced than it was. I was buying primarily women's stuff, but now we're kind of flipping back and maybe evening things out. So we'll see how that swaps here in the next few weeks, few months. All right, we got the top 10 sales. So we'll go through these quick and then we'll call it a night. Number one and number two are both DVD VHS combo players. So if you see these things out in the wild, not all, but most of them, if they're in good working condition, are worth the pickup for like 20 bucks or less. So this Sony one, these two were so cheap, I don't understand. So the Magnavox one I got for $5.99. There's no remote with it. It sold for $109.54. It sold within an hour. It sold so fast. There's people that have these models like flagged. So if it is one of the really popular models that you'll see, they'll have like a 600% sell-through rate. A lot of times they'll just sell within an hour because somebody's got it flagged, and by the time they get that notification on eBay, they're picking it up. So I don't know if it's a repair shop or somebody else's boutique electronics shop that they pick them up and upcharge on them. I'm not sure because I price these pretty competitively with what's out there. I don't go too low, but my pricing is pretty accurate for what it's selling for on eBay. So, boutique shop, maybe they're jacking that up an extra $50 or something, and it makes sense for them if they're selling them a lot. Not 100% sure, but it was strange because the same guy bought the Sony one for $115, and that was within like 10 minutes of me posting it. So those two were huge. The one I made $93 in profit. The other one I made $89.86 in profit. Those were big items. That was massive. That was $180 of my paycheck for the week. So huge score. It was only $11 invested. The Sony I got for $5. I couldn't believe it. Typically those are priced up, and that was at Goodwill. It was only $5. So, you never know. Take a look. The Titleist Pro. So this was one of the golf clubs I got. I bought 3 golf clubs not too long ago, 99 cents each. The first one sold for over 100. This one that sold this week sold for, I believe it was 42 plus shipping. Ended up being a total of 55.11, and not a huge amount of profit, but $27 profit for it. Fourth item on the list, we've got that Fendi shirt. I'm not certain that was authentic. I put read description on the title, and I put a pretty lengthy explanation in the description for whoever was buying it. It just said, can't authenticate this. It appears to be like a heat pressed logo, and I just wasn't 100% certain. I saw some other ones that looked good. The tags looked really good. The stitching looked really good. It could have been somebody might have got a really good deal on it, because those shirts go for like, the ones that were similar to that were going for like 80 to 100 and more. I sold mine for 42, so I ended up with $36 in profit. Not bad. I did a closet clean out, and a few of these are from my closet clean out. So I had this vintage Y2K. It's a band called Heavy Heavy Low Low. It was a hoodie from them. I listed it for $39.99 or best offer. Somebody sent me an offer of like $32 immediately within like 15 minutes of listing it. So I accepted it, and that was great. It was just out of my closet, so it cost me nothing. It was $25 in profit. This one was not out of the closet, but these are cool. The Ambush hiking shorts, excellent shorts if you can find them. They sold for, I think, $34, plus like $6 shipping. But yeah, $26 in profit on those, and they were not in. That was less than 30 days for sure. Those were good. Then back to back, I sold 2 Fortnite costumes. The Cuddle Team leader, the pink bear or whatever. One was large, extra large. The other was small, medium, and they both sold for, I think, $32. Well, it says the total sale on each was, I think I got away with some extra shipping maybe. I'm not sure, but I made like $50 between the two of them. Pretty good deal. And then we sold these Oak Hill pants. They are gigantic, 54 by 30s. They were brand new with tags. Those were one my mom found for me while we were at the thrift store. So shout out, Mom. Good find there. They did sit for a few months, but they sold, and they sold for, like $30, I want to say, $29, saying up with $21 in profit on them. So good pickup. Oak Hill stuff with the tags is definitely something to grab if you can get it pretty low. Coldplay 2023 Music of the Spheres concert tour hoodie. That one I just got this week. It sold really quick. It sold for, I think, $32. I had it listed at $39.99. Somebody set an offer around $32, and I accepted it. $25 in profit, and yeah, that's number 10. So those were the top sales for the week. Some kind of out of the norm stuff to sell, like the VCRs and the Coldplay hoodies, not an everyday thing. The golf club, that Fendi shirt. So some different stuff. Those costumes, those are a little out there too. So not the normal bread and butter stuff, but that's why you got to kind of be on the lookout. Eventually, I think when I get up to like 4,000 or 5,000 items in my store, it's going to be very consistently closed, and probably very consistently the same, like 20 brands. I'll just get it narrowed down and honed in to that point, but I'm not there yet. So there's a little bit of trial and error going on, but we're getting better every day. It's just building. We're building and building. I'm trying to put as much into this thing as I can. I want to be super successful with it. I do see the potential here. I think, 5,000 is the goal by the end of the year. I think personally I can get my inventory up to somewhere around 7,000. I think I can solo maintain that list. Maybe I'm selling through 350 items a week, and I'm listing and sourcing 350 items a week. I think I can do that in 60 hours or less. Could be lofty. I don't know. Maybe maybe not. But I'm going to try to push and push and push until I'm all the way at the top end of what's possible for me as a one-man crew, and then maybe look into options beyond that if the time comes. But that's it. It was a great week. This is my best week so far, so hopefully the trajectory continues onward and upward. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys following me on this journey. If you do like the content, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys this week.